Hello, it's Jared from Champion Digital Media. I recently made a new header video for our website, and I wanted to do a quick behind-the-scenes video to walk through the workflow. Now, my goal in producing this header video was to create something really simple and a really approachable workflow so that somebody with even the most elementary understanding of Photoshop and After Effects could produce something similar. The first thing I did was open up Midjourney, which I'll use to generate some AI art that will act as our starting point. You can get a Midjourney subscription for as little as like $10 a month, and it's really worth it, in my opinion. It can produce some really beautiful imagery, and even if you don't plan to use the final image in its entirety, I found it to be really great at providing a launching point or reference. But for the sake of this exercise, we're going to use our favorite image, which is this one right here. Let's take that and take it end to end to a completed video. After we have our image, I'm going to open up Photoshop and break it into layers. You'll see I added some Champion branding to the plane, pretty cool, and I think it says to people, hey, we're wildly successful, we have a company jet. Yes, it's a cartoon, but aren't we all kind of cartoons in the end? What we're going to do now is use the Select Subject tool, which isn't perfect, but usually gets pretty close to identifying the primary subject. And then I'll use the lasso tool to clean up the selection and just make sure my plane is effectively isolated. Now I'm going to copy my selection and delete it from the canvas. This will leave a big old hole in the canvas. I'll paste the plane into a new layer, but hide it for now so we can get to work on that big old hole. Luckily, we can fix that really easily with Photoshop's generative features. You can tell it what to do, but generally, if it sees a big hole, it says to itself, yes, that is a big hole, let's fill it. And there you have it. Here, I like option 2, so let's run with it. Now, since I want the airplane flying through the sky, not landing, I'm going to do the same thing with the ground. I cut it out of the composition, but I'm going to save it for later. But for now, I'm going to go through the same process to generate the rest of the sky. And that's looking pretty good, no complaints from me, and we're moving on. Since I want this to be a looping video, I need to do a couple of things. First, I need to extend the background, so I'm gonna triple it to get a lot of runway. That's a little airplane pun for you. And I'm a math wizard, so I don't need a calculator to tell you exactly how many pixels this needs to be. Perfect math. Now we could use generative fill to fill in these gaps here, and it probably would look really good. But since I want this to be a looping video, I kind of need to take matters into my own hands here. So I'm going to copy the background I have and paste it, and then flip it horizontally so that the edges line up and match. Then I'm going to use generative fill to get rid of the second sun since we're not flying over Tatooine. Once I've got that left third, I'm going to copy it and paste it into the right third. And I'm doing this because I need the background to be the same in the beginning of the video as it is at the end of the video to get that perfect loop. And we're looking good and ready to take this puppy over to After Effects. Over in After Effects, I'm going to drop the Photoshop file in, which you can import as a layered composition. Now, the composition is triple wide, so we're going to change the After Effects composition back to the original size. Quick divide by 3 all in my head. I was homeschooled, and we're ready to do some simple animation. First, I'm going to give the plane just a little bit of motion. I set keyframes every couple of seconds and just give it a little bit of up and down and slight tilt using the position and rotation tools. It's very subtle. I didn't want to do too much with that. All right, now the background. All I'm going to do is start on the right third and then set a keyframe at the end of the composition and drag the background using the position tool all the way to the spot in the left third where the background matches the first keyframe. And that's all there is to it. You can see it's a perfect loop, so I'm happy. I'm going to export it with Media Encoder, and it's ready for prime time. Okay, so just as a little bonus to show that there are a lot of different ways to use these layers that I split up in Photoshop at the beginning, here's another short animation that I made that uses both the ground and the sky. I have them moving in opposite directions as the plane takes off over the horizon, so that kind of creates a cool 2.5D effect. It's pretty cool, and I'll definitely use this in the future. But there you have it. That's how I produced our new website header video. I hope you found this helpful, and if you need a hand trying something like this yourself, just shoot me an email at jared@championdigitalmedia.com. Have some fun making stuff, and I'll catch you next time.